Folks, welcome back. I almost did not record this replay. I'm kind of glad that I did. Alright, so this does not stand out in any way because it was an outstanding battle. It was just plain strange. I sat in the queue for 7 minutes. There were 9 cruisers and 7 destroyers in queue with me, and we wound up in a 2 versus 2 battle. This is the Islands map. It is a standard battle. My team consists of 2 Storozhevois, and then we are against a Tachibana and a Longjang. Alright, so I haven't really had much experience with the Soviet destroyer line. I have played the Soviet cruisers, and I really enjoyed those quite a bit. But the destroyers kind of intrigue me because they are a pure gunboat, and I've been seeing a lot of Pan-Asian destroyers lately, and I figured that the Soviets would be a good counter to the strength of the Pan-Asians right now. So as I spawn at the south of the map, and for some reason my gut was just telling me to head north. So I'm going to head north and meet up with my teammate here in our cap. And I was figuring I was going to let the enemies come to me. Looking at this destroyer, it has a 5.6 kilometer detection rating, and I don't believe that's going to outrange the either one of my enemies in this match. So my goal here is to use islands for concealment as much as possible. Let the enemies come to me, pay attention to the terrain and mini-map, and wait for them to detect me. Then I can kind of guess, based on my direction of motion, where I think they're coming from. I can guess about where they are going to be coming from once I'm detected. Now, the Soviet destroyer line is a pure gunboat line. You do get some usable torpedoes, but those come at a higher tier. The torpedoes that we have at these low tiers, they are more knife fighting torpedoes, ambush torpedoes. They do have decent speed in the water, but anytime you're knife fighting with a destroyer, you really don't want to rely on your torpedoes that much. Use your torpedoes more to steer the enemy into a area that you want them to go. You want to use them to limit the mobility of your enemies. In a Russian, you don't want to get too close to your enemy if you're in a knife fight. There, I'm detected. So I'm going to turn out here. I think I know where they're coming from, and sure enough, it's both of the enemies. I'm going to engage with my guns. Look at the arcs on those guns. Very fast shell velocity, very low arcs. They're great for engaging at range, and that's really what you want to do in a Soviet destroyer. Stay at range. Don't get in close. Your turret traverse will not be very conducive to an in-close knife fight. So torpedo warning indicators going off. My teammate there has launched torpedoes toward the Longjang, or in their general direction. So what I'm going to do is launch my torpedoes on the opposite side. I want to create a channel here and force that Longjang down it. Now the Longjang, I am not worried about his torpedoes at all. They cannot affect me. Keeping an eye on that Tachibana, he does not seem interested in engaging at all. So we're going to focus on this Longjang. We're going to gun him down. He is completely focused on our teammate, so we're going to take this opportunity to take him out and earn first blood. Now the Tachibana he's headed behind this island, and what I want to do is lay my smoke screen across this channel. I'm not going to hide in the smoke screen here. I want to use this as bait. I want to try to bait my foe into coming out and torpedoing my smoke screen. And looking at the corner of that island, I can see his smoke screen coming out, so he's decided to go back there and hide. So I'm going to swing around the back here, and I want to throw my torpedo spread into his smoke screen and try to force him out. But I want to do it while I'm kind of turning out and away from him. I don't want to engage his torpedoes at point-blank range. I want to have time to maneuver. And this Storozhevoi is very agile. I'm liking its rotor shift. I'm liking its turning radius. So as we come around the corner, we're keeping an eye on his last known position indicator on the mini-map. We're waiting for him to pop back up. Going to throw our torpedoes in. Try to spread them out a little bit. Oh, and there he shows up on the other side. I really could have saved that last salvo of torpedoes. Now we're going to engage with our guns. Our teammate is moving around the opposite side of the island to engage him, so we're trying to kind of cut him off here. I'm detected again. Keep an eye on that corner, and there he goes. So he is actually engaging Unknown. Unknown has torpedoes in the water. We're going to head back around to the left of this island and try to cut off the Tachibana on the other way. The other side there. As the Tachibana begins to engage our teammate, we see one set of torpedoes coming out. We're going to engage him with guns. If you look at his flag there, we broke his propulsion. Look at his flag there. He has been doing fairly well in ranked, it looks like. There's that turret traverse. Easily outturn your turrets, so you have to kind of maneuver your ship a bit to make sure your guns stay lined up for firing a volley. Up, looks like our teammate, yep, Unknown, got taken out by a salvo of the Tachibana's torpedoes. So we're going to continue to engage with our guns. Those excellent shell arcs. We have him on fire. One more volley for the win. Okay, well, that was certainly interesting. A 2v2 battle. Well, there you have it, folks. World of Warships. All right, I've not really played the Storozhevoi before. I just decided to add this Russian destroyer line in just on a whim. I've been seeing a lot of Pan-Asian destroyers out there, and I thought it would do fairly well, and it seems to have handled itself, at least at Tier 2, pretty significantly. Not a stellar match. I just thought it was one that, like I said, 2v2. That is weird. Okay, so we came away with 45,000 credits, 899 experience, 45 pre-experience. We did get the first blood. We did get a fine rubbed hulls there with our teammate. 8,000 damage, 21 hits, 21 penetrations. So those high explosive shells do pretty well. 2 incapacitations, destroyed both destroyers on the enemy team, and we set 1 fire. So the team score, I picked up MVP. Like I said, I destroyed both on the enemy team. Unfortunately, Unknown did not make it through the battle. The Tachibana got him there at the end, and we took out both enemies. Looks like the Tachibana there, the best, took out Unknown with a single shot there, picked up Dev Strike. On the detailed report, we did all of our damage with high explosives, with the exception of 276 from a fire. So it looks pretty good. Yeah, this little Storozhevoi, I like the way it handles. Definitely don't want to get in close. It's the thing that I've seen to be the norm with the Russian destroyers. They do like to be at a distance from their prey. They don't want to get up close knife fighting, and it seemed to handle itself very well. All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining me for this fun little 2 versus 2 battle, and I'll catch you next time.